Alright, what is up everybody? Welcome back to another video in the inventory component system. This is probably going to be a quicker one. In the last video we set up some functionality for actually equipping items and stuff like that. You can see. So in this one we will make some actual cosmetic changes depending on the item as well. Obviously you would have like skeletal meshes and weapon meshes and actual stuff like that. I'm just gonna keep using these placeholders and you will still be able to get the point. But anyway, this is gonna be this is armor, right? So in the master item we need to add some cosmetic, some stuff as well. And like for you, I'm probably gonna do like a combat component later that will work together with the inventory component or something, so that we actually get like weapons that can do damage and stuff like that. And I would probably have like damage values in here and stuff. But for now, I'm just gonna have a we have the item mesh, we have description. I am going to add equip socket. So that's like where I would have it if it's gonna be a name. And we're gonna have unequip socket. Something like that. Yeah, that's gonna be fine for now, I think. And in the inventory component, we have this here. So let's start with the armor. So, equipped armor. So as I said, rep notifiers create functions that fires when something gets network relevant. So inside this onRep function, we can get the equipped armor. And this is where components get a little bit tricky. So in our master character, we have this initiate. So on the initiate, we are gonna create add component by class. So this is a armor. I'm gonna do static mesh component. You should probably do skeletal mesh, but I don't have a skeletal mesh, so I can't show you with it. But you should probably do skeletal mesh if you actually want it to follow your mesh and like stick to the actual body and use the actual animations. So like a jacket would use the animations for the body. I'm just gonna do a static mesh for now. And we're gonna drag in the owning actor so that we add it to the owning actor. And we're gonna promote this to variable. I'm gonna call this one helm mesh. So I'm just gonna use, you should do this for like all of the parts that you want, and they should probably be skeletal mesh components. As I said, I'm gonna use a static mesh for now. So in here, we're gonna grab the helm mesh. We're gonna attach to components. gonna get owning actor. So the owning actor is an actor, which is fine because we want the inventory to be able to be used in things like boxes and stuff like that. I'm just gonna drag from here, cast to a character, so we get it as a character. And then I'm gonna get mesh, and the mesh is gonna be the parent. This is gonna be the helmet mesh. We're gonna snap to target, snap to target, snap to target. And the helm mesh, I'm gonna set static mesh. Once again, you should set the skeletal mesh. I'm gonna break, no, get class defaults. And I'm gonna get the item mesh. And then we need an equip socket. So I'm using a 0.0.4, so I'm gonna 0.4, 0.4, 4, and I am going to I'm just gonna make a new item. Like that. They changed this. Build tools. Tools, merge actors, merge actors. There we go. We got a test helm. We're gonna do the green for this one. So I'm going to use this test helm, and in the cube item, I am going to set this as the default, and I am also gonna set this as the item mesh. So that means that we now have a reference to that here. And we should be able to set the static mesh that we just created. Let me just see how that looks, if something even happens. Yeah, so we can see that the mesh appears, but it appears by the feet, and it always appears by the feet when you don't actually have a socket to connect it to. And I can just go in here. I'm just gonna set the size So now you need to go into your skeletal mesh. And we are gonna, on the head, we're gonna right click on the head and we're gonna add a socket. Yeah, let's call it head sockets is fine. And in the inventory component, the socket name here will be the socket that we just created. Oh. And it needs to be exactly the same. So head socket with large S. So in the inventory component, we need to add it to head socket. Now, it's hard-coded here. That's why we actually made this. So we're gonna do the equip socket, drag it in there. And then we're gonna make sure that in the cube item, in the details here, in the equip socket, head socket. And you could do one for arms, for chest, or for whatever. Just make new sockets and new models and keep on adding it. So now you can see it attaches to the head. But it wasn't correct, so in the socket, right click and do add preview asset. So we're gonna add this test helm, and now we're gonna rotate the socket until we're happy. Save. So there we go, now we have a helmet. It's not the most beautiful helmet, but it is a helmet. Hopefully you get the picture. Obviously it's not hard to make this nicer with some actual models. And I think I could probably make this more modular. So, but for now we're gonna keep it like this. And should we, what's the time, 13? Let's quickly add a weapon also. Just gonna get a cube. And let's make a sword. That's a large sword. It should be smaller. I'm just gonna check the size. There we go. I am going to grab all the pieces. And go to Tools and Merge Actors. And I am going to go to the inventory component and get it sword. Probably a lot of sea fighting going on. We are gonna make this gray metal sword. Delete this. And this is our weapon, right? Item mesh is gonna be the test sword. Equip sword. Sword socket. Just to have the same naming convention, we're gonna go into the skeleton. We're gonna go to the hand underscore R and do the same thing here. We're gonna add a socket called sword socket, which is the same as we made. Right click, add preview asset, test sword. And just get the sword socket here and just rotate it to the way we want to. There we go. That's fine for now. And we have the sword socket, which is the same. This is a weapon. And we need to go into our inventory component. We need to copy. Oh, one more thing. I said that you should probably use a skeleton component for the armor, and that's true. So what you should do here is also, for you, this helm mesh would be a skeletal mesh. You should probably set master yeah. So from the mesh here, set master like this. Should also set master post component, and I can't plug this in now because I think this needs to be a skinned mesh. Yeah, okay, yeah, skinned mesh is what it's called now. So that's what you should use. I might, if I find something good to use, I might show this later more properly with skeletal meshes. But for now, just leave it at that. So we're gonna copy the armor stuff. We're gonna do the same with the weapon. I'll do another one of these. And this is gonna be weapon mesh. So in this equip weapon, we're gonna get the weapon mesh instead. So let's see if that works. That did not work. Let's go over it again. Item mesh equip socket. Why did not that work? Is this firing? This is usually how I easily debug stuff, is with print strings, if you haven't figured that out. It is firing. Static mesh component, target. Just gonna print the name of the actual socket. Ah, no. Okay, so it's none. Ah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So, we need to get the equipped weapon here, obviously. There we go. Now we can equip 90 Knight, and if we look at our other character we can see that it is replicating also. There we go. So Mr. Box Knight is here to save the day. And that is how you equip items. Cool. Fairly short one. That's gonna be it for this one. As always, let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and we'll keep working on this. There's probably gonna be a bunch of videos. If you're new, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!